Well, hello again, and welcome again to another podcast, Down to Earth, but Heavenly Minded. I'm your host, Irv Risch. Today we're going to be looking at an article entitled Capital Punishment by Robert J. Little. Is not capital punishment a violation of the New Testament command to love one another? The character of God never changes. It is a false concept that in the Old Testament God is revealed as a vengeful God, but in the New Testament as a God of love. The righteousness and love of God is expressed in different ways at different times, but his nature does not change. Both characteristics were always part of his nature and his being. We must distinguish between God's instructions to individuals in their personal relationship and instructions concerning the human government for the preservation of an orderly society in the world of sin. The man was governed by conscience alone before the flood. We read that violence and corruption filled the earth in Genesis 6. But God brought a flood upon man as a judgment, preserving Noah and his family. After the flood, God ordained human government as a booster to man's conscience, and the command was, whosoever sheds man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. Genesis 9:6. The New Testament does not nullify this. In Romans 13, we read that the representative of human government is God's minister and avenger to execute wrath on him who practices evil. Verse 4. The same verses state, he does not bear the sword in vain. You know, a sword is not used to write a traffic ticket. It is a spear of executing judgment of evildoers. And we believe this includes capital punishment when this is indicated by the nature of the crime committed. In our personal dealings with one another, we are to practice love and forbearance, but to act in the way towards criminals, and especially murderers, would soon result in a disorderly and violent anxiety. While socialists often proclaim the opposite, crime statistics show an alarming increase of violent crimes where just penalties are not executed upon criminals. This article was taken from Here's Your Answer by Robert J. Little, Moody Press, and it was copyrighted in 1967, but it was used by permission.